more than 100 years ago. Behind the forest, near large lakes, was an ancient castle surrounded by a deep moat. The moat was full of trees and reeds. Next to the bridge, entering the main gate, there is an ancient willow tree leaning over the moat with its branches and leaves. A little girl herds a flock of geese across the bridge. In the ravine suddenly sounded the sound of hunting trumpets and the sound of horse hooves. The goose girl quickly chased the geese off the bridge to avoid the group of hunters riding back. They drove so fast that she had to quickly jump down the side of the bridge to avoid being knocked over. The girl is pretty, slim, with a gentle face and bright eyes. The old landlord did not notice that. While galloping, he whirled the horsewhip he held in his hand. Being brutal, he felt pleasure when he whipped her in the middle of her chest, causing her to fall. "Everyone, their place!" he shouted and laughed, very pleased with his actions, and so were the others. "Laugh along." They all made a lot of noise, the dogs barked and people vaguely heard the old song. The beautiful birds flew back with the wind. The poor goose girl was knocked down. Crying, she grabbed a willow branch. Drooping, so the person is suspended above the water. After the hunting group passed, she struggled to escape, but the willow branch broke and she was about to fall into the reed bush when a strong hand suddenly grabbed her. It was the shoe salesman who saw her girl from afar and quickly ran back to save her. "Everyone has their own place." He sarcastically repeated the landlord and number 39's words and then placed the girl on the side of the road. Having said that, he stuck a broken willow branch in its place. Saying it and number 39's and quat, its place and quat, is an exaggeration. Rather, you stick it in the loose ground and tell the tree, if it can grow, it will grow and give those people up there a flute that makes a good sound. Done. Went into the castle, but because of his small status, he did not enter the living room. He mingled with the servants, they looked at his goods and bought him some shoes. Read. Around a large table, upstairs, there was a noisy noise, which should have been the sound of singing. But the guests could only try so hard, making their singing sound like screaming or barking dogs. They are having fun. Wine and beer flow like a waterfall into the bottle and into the cup. Dogs are also allowed into the party room. A young man grabbed the dog and number 39's long ears and wiped foam from their mouths, then hugged them one by one and kissed them. They called the shoe seller up, but the purpose was only to tease him. They forced the poor guy to drink wine in a sock. They urged him, "Hurry up." The game was so strange that they burst out laughing. Then they turned to gambling. Herds of animals, farms and lands were bet against each other. "Everyone, their place," the shoemaker exclaimed when he had just escaped that place of prostitution, alcohol and gambling. "The main road is his place, not that tall house." The girl tending geese from the small road also signaled her agreement with him. Many days passed. The broken willow branch that the shoemaker had planted in the moat became green and sprouted new shoots. The little girl was very happy to see that the willow had taken root, because she thought that the willow tree seemed to belong to her. But, the more the willow grew, on the contrary, the more life in the castle became ruined because of gambling. And gambling. Partying, those two things are two ships that people should definitely not climb on. Before 10 years had passed, the old landlord had to leave the castle and carry a stick to beg. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.